All right, so welcome back. So we are at Coyote Kickoff here in 2019, our second year of the event. It's so successful. Every year it's getting bigger and bigger and more exciting as we roll out our meta majors, as we roll out activities related to meta majors, opportunities for everything related to careers, internships, and everything really we do at the college. So what I want to do today is go around to the meta major tents and hey, I'll be coming there in a second. They're excited to be on film. So excited, we'll be heading over there in a second because they're excited to talk to you about what the meta majors are. So what I'm gonna do is go to each meta major tent and just have our faculty and other folks talk to you about what their meta majors are and why maybe you might consider not majoring in one of these, because presumably as a faculty member you have all your degrees, so you never know, but maybe informing your students about what it is that these meta majors are and why they're so significant. So let's take a little tour now. Okay, I think first we'll take a spin here at it's STE, right? It's traditionally call this STEM, but we have science, technology, and environment. And I'm sure one of our wonderful faculty members from STE would be willing to put on the mic and tell us a little bit about what the meta major is and what students might expect. So who wants to talk? Sue, hey!
Our meta major is about science, technology, and the environment, and the sciences part includes the chemical science, physical sciences, biological sciences, our geological sciences. It also includes geography, and then we also have the environmental sciences, which have everything from hydrology through forestry related topics and everything in between. And so our technology component includes computer programming. We actually have a course in computer programming for the first time, and then various uses of computer. So we're just so looking forward to welcoming students on board and opening up our meta major with a bang.
Great, thank you, Sue, for talking to us today.
You want to come over here and try a trivia game?
Why not?
All right, come on over. So we have these share patterns, and you have to match them with the artifacts that they go to. And all of them have to do with Spanish-related countries.
All right, so we're at the Arts, Languages, and Humanities meta major. So you're going to get a lot of majors here with focus obviously on these areas. So we have our English discipline represented with 3 faculty members, and then we have our 2 world language faculty here, and they're currently doing a trivia game here.
All right, so we are the meta major for Art, Languages, and Humanities. And as you can see from our shirt, we want to communicate, connect, and be creative. So we are the World Languages Department. Here we offer most of our classes are Spanish, Japanese, and American Sign Language. But we also are a bigger curriculum for other languages that we offer more scarcely. However, we also have in our meta major English department, next to us over here, and the arts. We also sometimes say that music can be part of us, but he's also shared with business due to the music major that they have. Catherine, do you want to add anything?
Come and learn Spanish with us. Hola!
Yay, all right, thank you for sharing with us today. Yeah, what are you working on here, Phyllis?
We've set up a canvas for everyone to come by and make your mark at LTCC.
Oh,
so
cool.
It's a communal painting.
Nice.
Everybody makes 1 mark or 2 marks or however many you want, and then at the end we'll have one big communal painting with multiple artists.
This is a very important one. So it's our health and public safety. And you're going to see obviously fire science here, very significant. And you just see some of the cool stuff here going on. You know, one of the things we're talking about, our board is going to be considering, is an actual public safety training center. Here in 2019, we've had a conversation about why this is needed locally, and you see a lot of the training stuff happening here. So it really, I think, is an opportunity to think about this more carefully and talk about how maybe the college can really serve a lot of the local agencies. We live in, unfortunately, right, a zone of wildfires. We remember the Angora fire well over 12 years ago now, and a lot of conversations about how climate change will impact the Tahoe Basin. Very recently, Gavin Newsom and many other California politicians, Nevada politicians, Governor Sisolak from Nevada, came out and did a big summit at Valhalla in September 2019. And that was one of the conversations. As we continue to feel globally climate change and environmental change, the local impacts could be very monumental and thus even more relevance, I believe, in terms of our public safety meta major. You're going to get a lot of students obviously interested in going into the business fields, you know, potentially getting into any number of business arenas. Leadership, we got a cool component with outdoor leadership that Clinton is involved in, and you'll see the climbing wall. And the curious thing about some of the meta majors is that there's sometimes overlap between a few of the meta majors. So you get in a situation where maybe it's not as easy as it might be to, as it might seem, to have like a particular degree or certificate pathway, Julie Booth, have a particular degree or certificate pathway neatly fit into one of the meta majors. And so sometimes we've had conversations about how exactly you know, we can make a reasonable connection of each degree and certificate with the 5 meta majors. But I think we've done a good job with most of these as far as making that connection with students.
Okay, and the last meta major we'll take a look at today is Society, Culture, and Education. This is the meta major that traditionally I've been part of. And what we did for Coyote Kickoff in 2019 was we had this spin the wheel, and each of these was an act that represented something that you might do in your everyday life, like use your cell phone or do a post on Instagram or YouTube, and maybe not think about the consequences, the bigger social, political, economic, or other factors that are part of that seemingly simple act. So we hung out with our students during kickoff. We had JD, Melinda, Chelsea, Christina, and myself, and a lot of just conversation about the degrees and opportunities in the meta major. And we're talking about programs that include anthropology, sociology, psychology, history, and political science, and encompass quite a few degrees and certificates. And so that will wrap up our tour here of the launch of the meta majors. Of course, we launched the meta majors before Coyote Kickoff in terms of the graphic design, but this was the first instance in which all the tents and t-shirts and the passports, which that was kind of a cool feature. The students went around and visited each of the meta major tables and then had their passports stamped based on having a conversation with the faculty and staff at the various meta major tables. At the end of that, then they could choose a t-shirt based on maybe the meta major that they planned to follow in the future. So I think what we'll continue to do in future years is to develop this Coyote Kickoff and to really continue to launch and express the values of our 5 meta majors, to really show our students what each of these encompasses with the various demos and activities that you saw were a part of Coyote Kickoff. So that's it for now. Thanks for listening, and I will certainly be back with additional videos in the future on the topic of meta majors, guided pathways, Coyote Kickoff, and so many other events, topics, and contexts here at Lake Tahoe Community College.